internet's a crazy place. It was like a quote like, "Ooh, you look like you got hoes." I mean, if you're trying to be one of them, just say that.
I saw that.
That's what I think it's like. If I say, "Girl, you sure you want to do that?" "Oh, girl, what?" Most people ain't gonna be like, "Oh, never mind, I'm good." She like, well, what's the tea? And now you finna go find out. And
right.
I told you.
Now you're about to be lost in the sauce.
Now, why you being weird to me? That's what's gonna happen.
Thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for the love and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, I bring to you this for you to sip on too.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sip on This. As you see, this guest to my left says, how many times has it been up till now? Is this four or five?
I'm not thinking it was more than that. Yeah, I'm a regular.
I was just about to say she's actually a series regular, so she's popping in and out from time to time. If you're new to the channel, this is my good sis Martecia, your fave Esquire. I'll leave her information as always in the description down below. And with that being said, shout out to all of you that are, whether you're new, returning, thank you guys for your support. And if you stick around to the end of this video, do us a solid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. All right, so boom. As far as today's topic, actually, before we even get started, if you hear some noise in the background, bear with me. My son, Apollo, for those that are not new to the channel, you should know who this is by now. This is my pit bull puppy. He's a puppy, but not really. He's like 9 months, but he almost looks full grown. Yeah. And he's been on 15 all week. And I could not drop him off at the sitter due to the hood rat festivities we tried to get into earlier today that didn't really work out that well. So, we just had to, move and shake accordingly or whatever. So he's preoccupied right now. I gave him some peanut butter, so I hope that keeps him, at bay, but we'll see. But anyway, as far as today's topic, we're going to actually do a part 2 to our episode from last season, Dating is Ghetto. And you know what? Before we get started on today's topic, I forgot to ask this. Maybe your answer may have changed from last episode. What are you sipping on these days? Is it still, did you say tequila last time?
Yeah, a little margarita, but the drink that we had in the last episode, like that's the one. Like, you need to put the recipe in the description box below.
You're right.
Because that's the
Shout
one.
out to TikTok, because that's where I found it.
But the little twist that we put on it, making it a slushie, I love a good slushie. Okay, that thing was good. That
was our own version of. You know what? I just realized there's a drink that they legit have at Fat Tuesdays. That's basically the same thing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the blue one. I think it's like the only blue one that most of them have. But anyway, if you know, you know. Back to the topic at hand, right? So first off, sis, I'm a little nervous about today's episode because when me and you talked about this the other day, my good sis said, I'm ready for our next episode because I got some notes. And I was like, yes, notes?
I took some notes on my phone just about some stuff that I saw on social media or stuff I just thought about. Like, maybe we should touch on this that we didn't touch on last time.
Okay, so you want to just go ahead and kick us off then? I didn't take no notes. I was freestyling today.
You didn't tell the people what the episode was. Did you?
I think I said I did. I said this is the part 2 of the Dating is Ghetto episode.
Okay. So we decided to run it back for a part 2 because, I mean, that part. Dating is still ghetto. So
very.
The first thing that we should talk about, hopefully this is still relevant when you put the episode out. Mm-hmm. But you know that whole red flag situation that's going on.
Right, I was going to bring this up. Okay.
The red flag situation that's going on.
Yeah.
On social media. What's a red flag to you?
Bruh, why did you hit me with this? Because I was going to ask you this. Okay, so red flags. And I was really trying to think about this too because of the different red flags that people have been posting for themselves or whatever. I think a red flag for me is How petty are we going to get? Because I can be real petty and I can also be real serious. On a petty note, anytime a female, it's her birthday that comes around and she be like, this my Cash App, that's a red flag for me.
Red flag? We should have bought one. I hate it too.
I hate to see it.
I will never.
Oh, it burns me up.
It burns me up too. I'm not even going to hold you. It burns me up too.
Like, why are y'all doing that?
Tell us you begging without telling us you begging.
Like, why are you doing that?
I don't like it. And then, you know what really burns me up?
I can tell. I really triggered.
Because it really burns me up when they say stuff like, since everybody asking for it, I'm going to post it. No, you still begging.
Yeah, that part.
Everybody was asking for it, just send it to the people that asked.
That part.
So,
that part.
Red flag. Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it too.
That was, so like I said, that was a petty red flag, but it's a real one though. Like, I can't stand that shit. Another red flag I would have to say is, okay, let's get serious. If I saw, and this is no shade to you, this really don't apply to you anyway though, for the mothers out there, my son is my king, my everything, that's a red flag for me. I'm sorry. Because I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've experienced my king is everything, and that I knew it was a red flag, but you know, we touched on it last time. Sometimes you see Six Flags and you think of the amusement park. Right, your hands be all like this. You be, and then that thing, you know, you be like, that was stupid. Why did I sign up for this?
Okay. So what about it is a red flag for you?
Because it's unfortunate, but the stereotype that comes with that is like, the type that be like, oh, my son is my everything, my son is my king. They should be your everything, but at the same time, it's like those people that I typically come across that are like that, it always be some shit with them. Now I'm like, the reason why you, okay, how about this? Because I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like what I'm being around the bush about is the fact that a lot of women that have sons, they treat their sons like their boyfriend instead of like their kid, if that makes sense. They dress them up like the baby daddy that left them. They, you know, and this is no shade. It's like they're literally building their kids up to be this like man that they hope what have never left them or would magically come back into their life. Like, does that make sense? And
I mean, it does, but okay. So that definitely makes sense because I can't stand to see it myself.
Okay, so why can't you stand to see it? And you're a mother yourself, so it's interesting coming from you saying you don't like to see that yourself either.
It just screams ghetto to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, and I personally don't do that because I just don't feel like I have to.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's National Sunday, y'all made it up. I ain't got to post my baby. I do what I do.
So you know what? I don't want to change topics, but where did all these holidays come? Like National Dog Day, Sunday, Daughter Day. Right. Like, where did these days come from?
Right.
Are we allowed to be off work for them? Because if not, why are we? I'm not worried about none of that.
No, not at all.
But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, I feel like it screamed ghetto to me a little bit.
Okay.
And so I feel like, I don't know how you've come across that because I feel like the type of woman that I think that you would go after or whatever, I don't think that they would be doing that.
I hope not.
I mean, so yeah,
for my future boo out there, please don't be doing that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. And then, okay, if I had another, another red flag for me is, I may have to explain this one. A female that says she has no other female friends, or a female, I feel like there's a better way to word that.
I think that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, or a female that says like she doesn't get along well with other females. Granted, I understand from the outside looking in, a lot of females are catty, but I feel like that screams to me is something really wrong with you that rubs off other people the wrong way, to where like that's why the real reason why you don't have friends is something that you're doing, not necessarily what everyone else is doing. I think it's an accountability issue really from the outside looking, because like I've come across girls that say that, and then once I start hanging with them, I'm like, mental note, I'm like, that's why you don't have many friends. Yeah. So I don't know.
feel like, I don't know, I see stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like the stuff I see on social media, what people say about their friends and stuff like that. I be like, who are y'all hanging out with?
Can we talk about it? Yo.
Like, when did you find out that your friends didn't like you? And then it's like all this, like, why are y'all hanging out with these people?
Yo.
Or another, I guess, red flag could be someone that can't keep a friend. Like, they always hopping from different friend groups, or they don't have nobody that's been in their life for a minute. That's a red flag.
Yeah. That kind of ties into what I was getting at too. Like somebody that, you're just bouncing everywhere, and then when people ask like, "Oh, who's your best friend?" or like, "Who do you be hanging out with?" "Oh, I'm a social butterfly. I want to hear that." Right. Who are your day ones?
Right.
Day twos even. You don't have any.
You don't have any day ones.
Okay, that screams it's you. Okay. Right. But something, I'm gonna just throw this out there, and it goes directly into what you just said about some of the red flags that people are saying like amongst their friend groups or whatever. I'm just like, it made me think of another topic that I want to have for another like later episode. And it came out of kind of like the red flag situation or whatever. And it's basically like, is it okay to have like jealousy amongst friends and stuff like that? Because I've seen a lot of stuff like that in the red flag situation too. But I'm gonna dive more into that in a later episode. But I just felt the need to throw that out there since you brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was even, I think we talked about it in our group chat, like even before the whole red flag thing came about. I think the scenario was like, don't, like if your friend asks you what you're wearing, she just trying to upstage you. Don't tell her what you're wearing or change your outfit or something. It's something they be saying on the internet. It's just
Bill Gates in the internet is crazy.
Right? Because I can't relate. I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all get new friends.
That part.
That's it.
Definitely can't relate. But yeah, what are some of yours? Because I feel like I found out some of mine. And I have a lot of others too, because I got a lot of pet peeves about stuff that are red flags too. But as you were.
Let me see. I think a big red flag that I feel like I've run into while dating is inconsistency.
Oh, that's a good one.
Get from over here talking to me.
That's a good one.
That, like, it really burns me up, because why are you bothering me?
Yeah.
Like, you came to me.
Yeah.
You came over here bothering me.
Yeah.
If you cannot be consistent, and then I think it's not even that you have to be pressed or on me or whatever, but be consistent, because you're not gonna keep my attention.
That part.
Like, once I see that you can't be consistent, who are you?
Yeah.
Like,
I see that.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And moral of the story, stop bothering me.
You just brought up something that made me think of another red flag, but I'll keep it in my pocket until you address your others.
Let's see. I think another red flag is just, I guess, I feel like I'm being really mature with my red flags. Like just no direction. Like, I guess career path or just your lifestyle. Like, you just
like
don't
no
have
goals, any
direction. Like, like what you got going on? I think that's a red flag. I got a petty one.
It must be real petty, because I saw it formulating in your head. You was like, yeah, this is funny. Okay.
Because I had debated whether I was gonna say it before.
Okay.
So I saw this post, and it was like, if a man calls you big money, just run. Like.
Oh, I get what I was like, big money. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And so I had something like that kind of to the equivalent happen to me. And I'm just like, somebody called me like fancy for something real basic. And I was like, it was the equivalent to big money to me. So I was like, see, no, I'm like that. And then especially people already think I'm big money because I'm an attorney.
Yeah.
I'm a baby lawyer. I'm still out here trying to move and shake.
Right.
So I ain't rich yet. But
heavy on the yet.
But please don't do that. Cause now, and I'm really not the type to be like, oh, they broke, but it's screaming broke.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's see, red flags, and I didn't even think about it too much. I was like, so I wanted it to like come off
Yeah, freestyle it.
Yeah, I wanted to freestyle, so I didn't think about it too much.
Yeah, that's funny because I was definitely going to bring this up too and do the same thing. And now that I'm on the spot, it's like, oh my God, but what are my red flags?
Because I know them when I see them.
Right.
I'm like, oh no.
Right. Especially some of the ones that I read on social media. I'm like, bruh, like some of them were really like nail on the head.
Okay,
it's spot on. Gosh. Like I said, that I think I saw that Cash App one, and that struck a nerve. That's why I threw it back out there so quick. But another one, and I think I saw this one too. This is the one I put in my pocket. I'm gonna pull back out.
I got a couple in my pocket now. That I'm glad I'm thinking about it.
But another one is when women that crave attention burns me up, especially really someone like me that's like, I don't like to be the center of attention, like really at all. It's okay like within groups I'm comfortable with, but like when I'm just out and about, I'm never doing anything that's gonna draw attention to me. I hate that. So the fact that I see like certain women out there that like literally the way they're moving and shaking, I can tell you're just like trying to gain everybody's attention. It's like, for what though? Like, who are we? Like, why are you trying to like impress us in a way or whatever, and flex in a way like that? That gets under my skin. But gosh, what was another one you had? So
I guess when you started talking about social media, I started thinking about it. Like I'm not gonna say that I judge based off social media, but I kind of do. Like what you put out for the world to see kind of lets me know a little bit about how you are as a person. Because you wouldn't be putting it out if it's not you.
Right.
I mean, and I get that people post like quotes that's just funny and it's not like that serious.
Yeah.
But like if I see you posting you smoking, money, guns.
That should have guns.
I see it, and then it be the same people that
Who
try
do you
to
be following?
wander, and they try to wander into my inbox, and I just try to be like, "What about me gave you the idea that this was ever gonna work? Did it make sense for you to come over here?"
Why am I laughing so hard? I'm sorry if I'm like bursting y'all eardrums right now. I keep forgetting the mic is right here now.
That really grinds my gears. I'm like, okay. Like, because what you do, I mean, and people smoke, whatever.
Right.
I mean, whatever.
That's your business.
Yeah. But do I need to see it on your page every single day? No. Do I need to see, okay, everybody's getting money. But do I need to see this money fan on your arm?
Yo, that's when you said money, that's all I pictured was money on the wrist like this.
I don't want to see that.
No, wait, what?
You know they be holding the money.
Because when money calls, I'm weak.
I'm sick of it, quite frankly.
I am weak. We too old for that. Who are you following that is still doing this? All of us like about to be all in our 30s at this point. Too old.
You're right. But it'd be the same people that, like I said, wander over to my inbox and I'm like, okay, are you just shooting to see what sticks?
Yeah.
Or
seeing who would give you attention?
Did you think that made some sense? I just wanted to make sense. That's it for me.
Make it make sense.
Please make it make sense.
Okay. So if we can do one more red flag each, because there's another conversation I want to have that pertains to not the red flags, but like just dating and stuff, right? Another red flag for me is, okay, so this is probably about to ruffle some feathers. This is the OCD in me though. I mean, no harm, but 9 times out of 10, I have realized if someone cannot keep their car clean, their life is not in order. Their house, because if you use that car and follow them home to wherever they lay their head, it's a mess. And I know, I kind of I try to give women that actually have kids the benefit of the doubt, because you have a reason to have your car like in shambles at times or whatever.
In shambles. I'm not even gonna hold
But
it.
I'm saying, like, what is your reason for your car being in shambles and you have no kids? And you're the only person in it 90% of the time that you're in. I never understood that. Why is your car a mess? Like the inside. I'm not talking about the outside or whatever.
I mean,
but
I get what that's saying, because if you see that their car is not.
And that's something that like you could just be walking by a car and glance in, like as you're passing by and glance in someone's stuff, and it's like, okay, are you living out the car? Like what is going on?
my cars be looking like that sometimes. It just be the front seat though, because I just feel like it just be the front seat. I just
so not even the back where Landon be sitting?
No, it's me. But my house is not dirty.
Right. So I can vouch for her. Like her car, you're one of the rare cases where your car and the energy of your house, they don't line up.
They do not align.
But like I said, it's just, again, for me, like somebody single that keep their stuff up to a certain level or whatever. Because me and my dad talked about the fact that, I don't even know how we got on this topic, but my dad was like, you know, growing up and like himself and other family members not having like, you know, like a lot of money or whatever, right? Growing up pretty poor, they're like, people still had a certain value of their stuff. They're like, this is my stuff. I don't care how much it's actually worth. It's worth a lot to me. It took a lot for me to get this. I'm going to take care of it. You know, so I know the stereotype about a lot of ghettos and projects and stuff is that it's like raggedy, it's dirty, not well kept up, whatever. But I think that's still just a stereotype, because just because someone's like, the look of the building in which they may live in may look a certain way, but when you walk into someone's house, that's not an automatic thing that is going to match, again, the exterior or whatever. Yeah. But again, back to the car. If you can't keep your car up, I'm just like, I don't know. Something that you utilize every single day that other people may have to get in and out of. Because for me, it burns me up if like someone says, oh, like you can just ride with me, and I get to the car and it's in shambles.
And they got to throw a bunch of stuff in the back. Like, okay, you can get in.
Like, why? I don't understand. Granted, again, I try not to be judgmental, because unfortunately I do know some people that at one point in time did have to use, you know, their cars as their living spaces or whatever. That's not what this is about.
Right.
If there's no logical reason as to why your car is a storage unit, a mobile storage unit, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
I don't want to hear it.
That's fair.
So that's that. But as you were, what's your last one?
If I had to give one last red flag in, I guess, dating or potential mates, I don't know.
I feel like me and you both are very picky and have certain standards.
People be walking red flags for me, but let me see. I don't know. I can't think of one now.
I feel like I got one for you, because we were you were just telling me this earlier today.
What?
For you, she doesn't like guys that don't put effort into what they look like. So if you walking around and you're basically not well put together, that's a red flag for good sis.
It's definitely a red flag. I feel like I've gotten better over the years. Because I used to be very shallow. I cannot even hold you. I used to be very shallow, but I've gotten better over the years.
So what do you mean by like well put together specifically though? Like, because when I hear you say that, I don't think that means like someone got to have like their clothes got to be worth a certain amount. It just means they need to look presentable for whatever the occasion is.
They need to look presentable, and yeah, they need to look presentable. I feel like, yeah. Because I tried to look past, like, okay, his outfit wasn't really all that, but okay, I could work with it. But I'm too old. I'm not finna dress no man. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm not dressing no grown man. So you can at least come with that together, please.
So fellas, what guys do you be running into that don't?
It
don't take much to even be presentable though.
I think it need to be a little bit more to presentable to me.
Okay. So what more specifically?
I don't know, not just presentable. That sounds bare minimum
Basic.
to me.
Okay.
Like, I got to see you like, hey, where'd you going with that on?
Oh my gosh.
It got to do it for me. That's the one. It just has to do it for me. like I said, I used to be very shallow. But I feel like now, physical attractiveness, I feel like that's important still. Mm-hmm. So if it don't do it for me, I might try, but the smile might be fake.
technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But okay, so they need to do it for you specifically.
Yes, specifically, it has to do it for me, and I don't like have a type or whatever, but it just got to do it for me.
Okay, so that being said, something else I wanted to get into again that pertains to single life, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tell you about something that happened to me recently, and I want to see, am I the only single person that feels this way?
Okay.
So about a week ago, my dad randomly texts me a picture of this female, right? Mm-hmm. Which my dad never does. So I'm like, why did my dad send me a random picture of this female? Mm-hmm. So I text him and I'm like, who was this? He's like,
might be my something on my list too. But
oh Lord, he was like, what do you think? I was like, well, for starters, it was awkward for me because I actually thought it was one of my cousins until I I did a double take. And I was like, oh, no, they just hella favor. Like, this is awkward. But he was like, what do you think? I was like, actually, I thought this was cousin such and such. I was like, but, I mean, I guess she's cute. My dad calls me. I'm like, oh, hell. So I answer. I'm like, what's up? He's like, so I was at a class reunion recently, catching up with some old classmates or whatever. And, of course, like, we started showing each other, like, pictures of our families, so on and so forth. And he said, when I showed a picture of you, this is the funny part. He said, I showed a picture of you, and my homegirl says, wait, is that your son? And my dad says, yeah. And the woman says, oh, is that his girlfriend standing next to him? So my question to my dad is, well, what picture did you even show her that it looked like I had a girlfriend in the picture? Why was it Troy? For those that don't know, Troy is my younger sister. And when he said that, I literally bust out laughing. I was like, she clearly was not looking at the picture because me and Troy are twins. So my dad said, yeah, he said, honestly, we had been drinking. He was like, so she probably just saw a female standing next to you and was like, oh, is that his girlfriend? But my dad was like, no, he's single. And she was like, yeah, so we should hook our kids up. And when my dad said that, I'm like, why do parents like to play matchmaker? I'm not going to say I'm totally against it, but it's still, I feel like my parents at times don't understand like the type of woman I'm looking for.
Right.
So, sorry again, you guys. But as I was saying, my dad, I don't know how I felt about this situation because I'm like, this could be good or it could be bad. Because, like, all I'm going is off a picture at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, granted, that's how a lot of people, I guess, form their relationships these days. But something that me and you talked about earlier, well, we may have talked about it recently this season, but I know we did touch on it in our other dating episode, was the fact that we'll rather meet people through somebody else or whatever that can vouch for this person's character. And, like, my dad had never even met the girl before. So I'm like, you can't even tell me anything about her. Like, you can tell them about me. Right. But I'm like, when I felt like when I tried to ask my dad certain questions about her, he couldn't even tell me anything. I don't even think he could tell me her name.
Daughter.
Yeah,
that's it.
He could tell me about her parents because he know them, but I'm like, but what about her? Like, that's the person you want me to meet. Like, I'm not trying to like get to know them right now.
Right.
Like, you're trying to hook me up with her, so I'm like, whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about the whole like parents stepping in and being like, let me find you somebody. No, I think I got this.
Right.
But what were you about to say?
So one of the things on my list of things to talk about was like pressure from your family to get married, have kids, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things on my list. Mm-hmm. But I definitely agree with you. I don't think I would trust my parents to match me with somebody.
Sorry, you guys. The camera died. So picking back up from where we left off, my good sis said that you don't believe you would basically trust your parents to find you your potential soulmate.
No, because I think I could trust them to find me a good human. But I feel like he probably gonna look any kind of way. Like they can match me with somebody on the inside, but on the outside, it's not gonna be right. I know that for a fact.
The thing is, I feel like my mom would match me better than my dad would. Cause she showed me, you know what's so crazy? She showed me this girl one time, and this is why I feel like parents need to stay off of that Facebook. So my mom used to work with this girl, it was maybe about a year ago. It was sometime around like when COVID first kicked off. And she used to talk about this girl to me all the time. And she was like, oh, but she's about to go to nursing school and like whatever. And she was like, then again, I guess it won't work out with y'all anyway. And I was like, why? She was like, because she knows Terrell. I was like, okay, first off, just because she knows Terrell doesn't mean like I'm off limits. I was like, and two, I was like, she told you she knows Terrell? And she's like, no. I said, well, why do you think the girl randomly knows Terrell? She said, oh, because they follow each other on Facebook.
Girl.
I said, Ma, do you know how social media works? I said, all these people that be following each other do not know each other, Ma. She was like, really? They just be following random people? Ma, yes. That's how all these social media platforms work. My mom was like, oh, exactly why I just said. Parents need to stay off of Facebook, all social media platforms, actually. But anyway,
they can probably actually have Facebook. They can probably have that.
Honestly, truly,
Instagram, everything else.
You know what? And to dive into that real quick, we have icebreaker moments during our staff meetings. We have staff meetings every Monday at work, and so I think one of my team members asked the other day, they was like, what's the main like social media platform that you use? Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of people, I'm the youngest on my team, so most of them are like mid 30s to like early 40s, and so majority of them said Facebook or Instagram. And the ones that said Facebook, I was like, man. So the guy on my team that shared, I guess, like his like platform before me, he was like, I mean no harm, I hate that all of you guys have taken over Facebook. He was like, because back when I had Facebook, the only way you could get it is if you had a college email address. And I was like, bruh, speak to it, please. I was like, I don't understand how Facebook has become what it is today. Like, because that was like a college thing. And it just got taken by, I'll never forget when my grandmother sent me a Facebook request, and it was like I think it was like my senior year of college or whatever. I said, well, probably not about to be up here much longer, so right. I guess Twitter it is. But I ended up, right when I stopped using Facebook, I think I stopped using Twitter too, so that's that. But I was about to ask this, but I think maybe your attitude towards this has changed. So I just touched on this a few minutes ago, how we would rather meet somebody either in person or have someone vouch for this person's character. How are you about like meeting people through social media? Are you okay with like someone DMing you and saying, hey, like I would like to take you out, like whatever, or are you like absolutely against it, like no, it's not happening?
No, I'm open to that as long as it makes sense. As long as it makes sense. I'm open to that. Cause I don't think Facebook's a different story. I don't know half them people. But Instagram, I feel like I know at least majority of them, or I've seen them, or we know some of the same people. Yeah. So I think it's kind of the same as meeting somebody through somebody. Yeah. Because I can always be like, okay, so tell me about such and such. You know him? Yeah. Like something like that. So yeah. So I feel like I would be open to that.
So I have a hypothetical question, right? So, and I feel like something happened recently that made me think of this, but I cannot remember what the exact scenario was. But long story short, so let's say you have a friend, right? One of your homegirls. They say, hey, do you know so-and-so? And this one of your homeboys, somebody that you know really well. You're like, oh yeah, that's such and such. Like that's my people or whatever. Why, what's up? And she like, yeah, put me on, but he ain't worth shit. What would you do in that scenario? Would you just be like, nah, sis, I'm letting you know right now that ain't for you? Or would you be like, oh, like, that's my boy though, but damn, like, I don't want to be essentially talking shit about him behind his back, but how would you maneuver through that situation?
So that's funny because I had kind of a conversation like that with somebody earlier. Like I told her that I wouldn't put one of my homeboys on with nobody I like. But okay, so you said it's one of my homegirls that asked me like, oh, who's that? Oh yeah, that's my homeboy. I know. Do I like this homegirl?
Yes. Okay, well, with that being said, like, what would the case be for either scenario?
I mean, so I feel like if it's just somebody I know and like I don't really have no ties to you, like okay, I'll go follow him on Instagram. I'll give you his page or whatever. Now, if it's somebody I know, I'm gonna just say, girl, if this one of my friends, proceed with caution. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, girl, what? Nothing. Just proceed with caution.
And you're not giving no. If she be like, "Oh, why you say that, girl?" That should honestly be enough. But really, it's like, "Hey, I told you, proceed with caution." But I was just curious because
I can't let you go outside with no type of warning at all. But I also can't put him on blast. So just proceed, just have fun. Girl, have fun. Cause the red flags finna look like Six Flags. Girl, have fun.
Right.
Just enjoy yourself.
Cause she damn sure not gonna see any of those flags.
Right.
She gonna just be like, well, that's 1 out to 6,
right.
2 out to 6.
You know, I'm not even gonna tell her to proceed with caution. I'm like, girl, just have fun. You know.
So if you're watching this and you one of them girls that hit Martecia up,
and I tell you, girl, have fun. Run, okay?
I am weak.
Yeah, girl,
that shit is
okay,
funny.
so what would you do?
Oh my god.
Because I feel like most of your guy friends are in relationships.
Yeah, now, yeah.
But I guess if you knew your homeboy won't hitting on nothing, and somebody was like me, so say I see your story one day.
But you're different though because you know all my people.
No, but I'm saying okay. Say you.
Okay, I get what you're saying. If it's you, I would probably be like, yeah, I'll probably be like, nah, sis, you need to leave him alone. You just need to look at him and keep it pushing. Admire his looks and keep it pushing. But then again, I'll ask you, what type of time are you on? Are you here for a good time or a long time? Because if you're here for a good time, I'm like, he'll definitely show you a good time. But if you want somebody to like for the long term, nah, that ain't for you, sis. You might not want to sign up for that.
Right.
But
so, moral of the story, girl, have fun.
Right. But the thing is, like, I feel like even when you give people like advice like that, they still rather turn it into Six Flags.
They're not gonna take it. If you tell somebody that, they're gonna want to see what's really good. Cause you know how
I can change him. He'll be different with me.
No, are they just trying to see what the hype is about? I mean, because I think it was a post. The internet is a crazy place. It was like a quote like, "Ooh, you look like you got hoes." I mean, if you're trying to be one of them, just say that.
I saw that. That's
what I think it's like. If I say, "Girl, you sure you want to do that?" Oh, girl, what? Most people ain't gonna be like, "Oh, never mind, I'm good." She's like, well, what's the tea? And now you finna go find out. And
right.
I told you.
Now you're about to be lost in the sauce.
Now, why you being weird to me? That's what's gonna happen. I told you have fun.
Oh my gosh. That why you being weird to me hit me here because I'm sorry, full disclosure, me and my good sis here, we be in the middle of some sticky situations where we be like, bruh, why do y'all always got to put us in the middle of some mess? We be really chilling, minding our business.
It's never us.
Never us.
Never
you know what? We're a red flag.
It's never us.
We literally just said earlier in this episode, the people that be like, it's never us, but they don't be having friends.
Right.
And we got a lot of...
We be innocent bystanders.
Yes, we really do. We really do. People know our character.
We innocent bystanders.
But, yeah, that was a big contradiction. But I promise we're really not those people. But, okay, so... I wanted to know from last episode to this episode, what things do you think you're more open to that we said were like no-goes last go round, if you even recall?
So I think all my no-goes are still majority the same. But when I did speak on dating a man with a child or children.
Oh, I remember that.
Our good sis Shaniqua called me to the front.
Gathered her, she did.
She called me to the front of the congregation in the group chat. And basically, and we actually had this conversation. Did we talk about it again? I felt like we may have touched on it again. She told me I was being closed-minded and I was not being fair. Chase told me the same thing. I did talk to them about it recently. I called them to check on them and the baby. and they told me, Chase said, you're going to make somebody a stepdaddy. You can't do that. And I said, okay.
You know, it's shout out to them because when I tell you that baby has changed them, it's crazy that people need their kids more than their kids will ever really need them. Because that set there, when I tell you they have really been nipping people in the butt left and right ever since Chaz has became a person, I'm like, why are y'all talking to me like this? Like, right. Speaking of pressures, those two there, when are you going to get you somebody?
Oh, they talked about you too. They said they sick of both of us as a unit.
Yo, they told me that too. They said, now that you hear, yo, they did. They said, we just talked to Martecia. We had to tell Martecia about herself. So we feel the need to go ahead and bring you into this. We're sick of y'all. And I'm like.
Because we're the only single people out the group. And
I mean, if y'all mad and jealous, just say that.
I mean, no, because why y'all don't have no homeboys?
I mean, and the same could be said, where y'all homegirls at? Y'all already hear us on this podcast and we would rather you guys introduce us or be able to vouch for this person, but y'all ain't got nobody to vouch for. So why are you mad? I'm unbothered, quite frankly.
Okay. So I think this happened since we had the last episode. Mm-hmm. So I was getting my hair braided. Because people be in my ear and I just be like telling me that I need to do certain things or whatever to be found or whatever.
Heavy on the oil.
Whatever. Like, oh, you need to go here and do this. Oh, talking about dating sites and all that. I feel like dating sites are not for me. I don't feel like the Lord don't have that for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's written out for me either, honestly.
It's not.
If you ever see me on the dating site, heavy on the here for a good time, not a long time, FYI.
So I personally feel like dating sites are not for me. It works out for some people, and that's great. But I don't feel like the Lord is going to have me meet my husband on there.
Yeah.
So, but I got up there.
Okay.
On one of the dating apps. I was getting my hair braided. I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Like, I'm about to be here for some hours. And my homegirl that braids my hair, she had been on it before. So we were talking about it. I was like, okay, well, I'll just make a profile. She's like, just make one or whatever. What you got to lose? Nothing. So I got up there. When I tell you I deleted that thing after 24 hours, I said,
It was that crazy.
It just wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't for me, so I had no business even getting on there in the first place.
But what things made you turn it off in 24 hours?
I said, I don't like this. Like, when I tell you I said, it wasn't working.
Was it the pool of people that was coming through?
Yeah,
I complained about that too. I really feel like it depends on the area that you're in, because this area that I'm in, yeah, I was back and forth on certain stuff, and I was just like, me and somebody else actually recently talked about this, because also this, like, granted, last time I was on something like that was like months ago, but I remember at that point in time when I was venting to someone about it, they were going through the same thing. They was like, yeah, the pool out here is looking real shallow, like ankle deep shallow. Like, there's not many prospects out here, so
no,
it's low-key rough out here, but at the same time, what?
Go ahead.
No, because you look pretty triggered. What was it? I felt your spirit.
Because it's a little rough out here, but at the same time, there's a whole lot of mess I don't have to deal with.
Yeah, I was just about to say something that I want to touch back on from our last episode was it's hard to find peace, like, in a relationship, like that same peace when you're single in a relationship. And when you do, though, that's how you know you got the right person, though.
Right.
Because that is hard to come around. But we be finding our peace on trips. So I don't know. Because then something else that I'm low-key worried about too is you really, I feel like, don't truly know who it is you're dealing with until you guys live together, until you guys go on a trip together. And it was one other thing. I said live together, trip together, and dang, it was one other one that was like a key point. But those were the big two, in my opinion, because I done known some people that have gone on trips, and that trip let them know, nah, we can't do this.
Right.
Like, whole trip be ruined.
Right.
Ruin the whole relationship. Now you got to cut ties as soon as you get off that plane. It's like, you know what? This was fun, but I'm out. So I don't know. That's what kind of worries me too.
I think it definitely, singleness it's a blessing because it's a whole bunch of stuff I don't have to deal with. Because I do find myself sometimes, I'll be like, dang, everybody got somebody. But everything that glitters is not gold. Because when I tell you, people's situations be jacked up and raggedy.
Jacked.
But it look good though.
For the gram.
It be jacked up and raggedy. It's a whole bunch of stuff I do not have to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, to the point that you just said too. I be seeing certain stuff like, I'm not even entertaining this. Like, I'm not even going like this. I'm just mind my business, keep scrolling, because like you said, like, it be really people out here flexing for the gram for me. That be the thing. Flexing for the gram is if people don't know what you truly out here doing. Right. But I mean, whoever you painting this picture for, that's great. But I just know who the painter is. So I don't have no need for you to sit up here and try to finesse me to believe something that I know is not existing. But you know, to each his own. Crap, it was something else that I'm trying to remember. So disclaimer, I didn't watch our last episode because I didn't want to purposely, because I feel like if I watched it, it would have made me think too much about what not to say in this episode or like stuff like that. So I was trying to avoid it. But one thing that I think, well, I kind of touched on it just now. Like, so you did say some of the stuff that you mentioned from last episode, you still kind of like hold yourself to. So like, still the same deal breakers back then are still going to be the same deal breakers now. But is nothing else that you're able to like compromise for or like be flexible towards or whatever, being that it's quite some time has passed between this episode and that episode?
So I know last time I said I would be flexible on a man making less money than me, just depending on the circumstances. Yeah. What else did I say? I think that was I'm not okay. I'm not against dating a man with a child. But it just got to be the right situation. Cause I done seen a lot, so it just got to be the right situation.
What if he has multiple kids, but there's like once you get to know him, there's absolutely no like baby mama yeah. Well, I mean that too. No red flags, no baby mama drama. Him and her get along great. She in a whole other relationship herself. Like, you're still closed off to her, or you're like maybe a little bit.
If he has two,
I said multiple.
Okay.
It can be two, three.
Two is the absolute limit. Like, unless you were like married and something like that, like they all got the same mom. It's like not like a bunch of, because I don't have time for that. You don't have time to be a Sierra dealing with a future. I do not have time for that at all. So I'm open to it. Okay.
I think for me, I admit I still got certain like high standards that I don't even think are. I don't know.
I felt like our deal breakers were reasonable.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
This is us saying this. Everybody else is telling us that they're sick of our mess.
But who is everybody else? It's just Shaniqua and Chase. But no, I think Camille gets on us sometimes too. Not as bad as them though, but. You guys will meet Camille hopefully in a couple episodes coming up this season. But yeah, those are the three that really be giving us hell. But you know what? No, I'm gonna throw my younger sister in the mix, because didn't I tell you she tried me a couple weeks ago and was like, it was like a couple weeks before we dropped her off at school, she was like, she's clearly gonna be the first one to have kids. And
wow.
Right, and it was me, my parents, and my older sister there. And literally everyone turned around and was like, what? Mind you, my older sister is in a whole relationship. They live together and everything. And my sister was like, huh, so you think you going to have kids before me? And my sister was like, looks like it, yeah. And then, like, I think my mom turned around and was like, well, I mean, when you going to start having kids? Like, the clock is ticking. And my sister's like, damn, I am 33. Can I not, like, I thought I was being responsible by, like, trying to wait and, like, make sure my goals and stuff were met before kids and stuff got involved. And my mom is like, yeah, but the clock is still ticking. Like, and my dad, that's when he stepped in and was like, now y'all mom is tripping. Like, like, no, y'all doing, I have no problem with not having any grandkids right now. And he told my sister to shut the hell up, the younger one, because she needed to shut the hell up. But yeah, I was just sitting there like, the fact that you're sitting here 18, you thought that you was about to have kids before, but then again, I don't know. But then again, my sister be tripping because she don't even really be like talking to a lot of people herself. Like she stays to herself too. So I'm like, what? The only way, kind of like you, how people joke and be like, what? You just want somebody to fall in your lap. Clearly my sister think the same thing is supposed to happen for her too. So I'm like, you think the stork gonna drop a baby off to you before it come visit the other two of us? Because that's the only way you're gonna have a kid before us too. If you keep moving the way that you're moving. So I don't know. All of us are just clearly a mess.
Right.
It's just ghetto out here though. You got to protect your peace. You got to protect yourself from like toxic situations, because a lot of people like to manipulate people too into thinking they're one way, then you meet the real them, and it's like, wow, so this is the real you, huh?
Yeah, because going back to a lot of things I don't have to deal with. A lot of people need therapists, not relationships. So
can you say that for the people in the back?
A lot of people need therapists and not relationships.
That part.
So, yeah.
And what that means specifically, you out there, because I feel like we're talking to someone specific right now. That means you guys are in relationships seeking out assistance through things that your partner cannot assist you with, because it's something that you should seek through a therapist. Mm-hmm. You cannot treat your partner as a therapist when you have deep-rooted issues. I'm talking deep, nothing surface level. Deep means beneath, okay? Right. Deep issues that they are not able to assist you with. And I don't know. And I understand when you're in relationships with someone, you should feel comfortable being able to work through certain issues. They're supposed to bring out the best in you.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of times, well, maybe not. I was about to say, I feel like a lot of times people in relationships will actually tell someone like, I think you should go like seek help for this or whatever. And the person is closed minded to it. Like, no, that's what you're for. No, I don't think that's what I'm here for.
No.
I don't think that's what I signed up for.
No, you're right. Because they definitely, I mean, your partner can be a lot of things, but I definitely don't think they should be your therapist.
Right.
You should come with some sort of wholeness to the relationship. Like you don't, I mean, if you still work, granted, I feel like your partner can help you through certain things. Mm-hmm. If you know certain triggers and they can kind of help you through certain things, but it's up to you to do the work. I thought of another red flag that ties into this directly. It goes back to the inconsistency. It's just overall poor communication for me is a big red flag. Like, and I feel like that's something that's getting worse as the generations go on, because I feel like if you really take a step back, like, I feel like social media kind of is to blame for that, because a lot of people are talking through text. They're talking through all these different platforms. But when it comes to meeting someone face to face and needing to hold a conversation, it cannot be like some people just cannot keep that same energy face to face in a real conversation. And for me, that's a turn off. So you're saying face to face communication, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, overall, like the inconsistency with the text messages and not being able to just like verbalize what it is that you're feeling at certain times, because a lot of people also feel like certain people are mind readers and can just know what it is that you're thinking and feeling, and I don't have that gift.
Right.
Like I don't like to just assume how it is that you're feeling. I may be able to get like an idea of what you may be feeling or maybe thinking through your body language, but a lot of times, I mean, how many times have you heard, especially amongst women, a lot of people say, oh, that person is a bitch, but come to find out she just got resting bitch face. Like, really, she's having a great day, but just the way she be sitting, she looks like she doesn't want to be bothered. But that's not That's the energy she gives off, but that's not necessarily what she means to give off.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you can't just be assuming things like that from people. You can't assume until you have those conversations, get to know people. And so I feel like nowadays, me and one of our homeboys talked about this some weeks ago about how when you talk to certain girls nowadays, it's actually like pulling teeth. Like, just because they look like a nice package put together, when you sit down and have a conversation with them, it's like, okay, looks only get you so far over here, baby girl. Like, I'm gonna actually, you look nice, but I'm gonna take this stage right over here. Like, I can't do this.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I guess, like you said, social media, people are so busy behind their phones and behind
with
all
them
this
Twitter
different
fingers.
stuff. You're right. So when you get in front of somebody, you don't have time to think about what you're gonna type. You're just like, But then again, you never know. They could have social anxiety or whatever they ain't work through, or what. Being an adult is getting really complicated.
Something else complicated now that we're talking about adulting. I know this is off topic, but I need to address the gas prices.
No, Joe need to address the gas prices.
So I was actually going to say, this is not what we mean by you did it. We did not want you to do this. We wanted you to do. I don't want to make this a political conversation, but I'm just trying to figure out what has been done, because the fact that one day, first off, they were already creeping at a pace that I wasn't feeling already. And when I saw it get to that, first off, because gas just a couple months ago wasn't even $2 a gallon. Then it was like $1.99 or something like that, right?
When?
It was, yeah, it wasn't that cheap.
That's crazy. I would have been everywhere.
Am I tripping?
You have to look it up.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I could have swore gas was like, it couldn't have been $2.99 because it was stuck at, so if I remember correctly, when the gas shortage, because I think that was a hoax, when that gas shortage happened, gas went up to $3, but it was way under, it had shot up like a full dollar during that gas shortage. And then now the other day, so gas across the street from my house was $2.98 for like 3 weeks. I left to go to the gym, came back, it was $3.29.
Yeah,
it literally went from $2.98 to $3.29 literally within an hour. I was just like, what?
I got some gas for $3.29 today. I was mad about it.
Pissed. So, and with prices like this for adult essentials, I don't have time for games when it comes to the single stuff. Like, I move with intention, and I think that's a lot of things. That's another red flag. Somebody that shows you they don't move with intention. They say one thing and do something else. You playing games. You're playing Squid Games actually at this point, and I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that. You're playing kid games, but in an adult setting. We don't have time for that. You can stay at the kids' table if you're going to do all of that.
Right, because I feel like different people want different things.
Right. And that's fine, but just say that.
Just say that. Like, it's
with your full chest, and it's fine.
Totally fine.
Then we'll know what to expect going forward.
Right. If what you want, what I want on the line, okay.
Bet.
It's cool.
Bet. And that's that on that.
Right.
But don't sign up for this and then all the flags be there and you just collected them because you wanted to visit all the 6 flags that America got to offer at this point, but then get mad at a certain point. No, baby, he showed you. He showed you early on what you was getting, but you was googly-eyed. You was lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
You wanted to, what's the word that you used earlier? You wanted to see what the hype was about.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I hope you had a blast finding out what the hype was.
Hope you had a blast.
But, yeah, is there anything else you need to get off your chest? Because I feel like this conversation kind of been everywhere.
It has. I think
we done talked so long the damn sun went down.
It did. I did have, I think one more thing was on my list. Yes. So, what you think? Because, you know, like, I don't think we ever talked about this anywhere else. About on social media, you know, they want to get up there and argue about everything. Mm-hmm. What do you think about splitting bills?
Okay, so this is my stance on it. If I'm the person that asks somebody to go out. It's supposed to be
I'm talking about like household bills. Like if you were to move in with someone that you're dating, if you move in with somebody that you're dating, what do you think about? Because I guess the argument on social media is
what men's supposed to pay for everything,
or what they're supposed to pay for, or what do you think? If you had a significant other and y'all moved in together, what do you think the bill arrangement should be?
So my experience is based on like what I grew up in. So like my parents, they split everything, but they also have a joint account. And I know that's a lot of thing that a lot of people don't, they're like joint account. Oh, and I'm like, well, if you're building a life with this person and like the husband and wife, whatever, I don't understand what the issue is with a joint account. Right. But I think my parents also have separate accounts too, but like they put so much of their check, I believe, in their joint account that goes towards all their bills. Right. So it's just like essentially they're splitting all the bills amongst themselves or whatever. They're not, and it's not even looking like split the bills. Like they put, actually, I think, again, sorry parents if y'all see this, but I think when they get paid, all their money goes into one account. But I think like they may draw out money separately, like for their own personal needs and stuff like that. Because I definitely, it's funny, at times I'll be hanging around the house and my mom, it'll be like nobody, absolutely nobody. My mom, she'll be like, Nelson, she'll be like, why did you spend $200 a day? Like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I took it for such and such. And she's like, all right, bet. And then she'll come back, why did you spend this though? He's like, oh, I went to buy such and such. She's like, you didn't need that. Go take it back. Right. Now, granted, he really doesn't take it back, but that's the dynamic that they have or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's the type of relationship that I just always saw for myself going forward. But I'm not going to say it's a deal breaker if she's like, now I do feel like we still need to have a joint account for bills, but it's fine if you have your separate accounts for like the buy things that you would like for yourself. Because something else that I was thinking of too with the account situation is, especially with the holidays coming up, I'm like, okay, if you have everything in the same pot or whatever,
you buying your own gift.
Yeah, you're buying your own gift.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, that's another small reason why I feel like maybe you should have separate accounts at times. So like when you make certain purchases, they can't just go see me. Oh, I know that's what they're bringing me like for Christmas or whatever. So I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much my take on it too. But I think what the people that are arguing on the internet,
Bill Gates internet never fails.
They talking about people that's shacking up, and we saw marriages growing up.
Yeah.
So I feel like people splitting bills are people that's like not married. These are people that's just shacking up, just living together. Versus my parents did the same thing that yours did. Yeah. Like they still do that. Money go in one account, they pay the bills, go about their business.
Yeah.
I feel like it's being made more complicated than it needs to be.
That part. I feel like our generation, and maybe this can spill into another topic for another time, I feel like we're very sensitive, like about a lot of stuff that I'm like, why are you so pressed about that? Like, and then something like this, a lot of people that be so pressed and concerned about the way that other people's, what people are doing with their money or whatever. I'm like, you're not even in a relationship right now. Why are you worried about what this person over here is doing in their relationship, especially with their money? Like, mind your business. It's free to mind your business.
Right. Because that's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be on Bill Gates' internet arguing with somebody in the comment section about something that don't have nothing to do with me. If you feel like a man should pay all the bills, then that's you. Yeah. You can feel that way. Yeah. If you feel like you want to pay half the bills with your man, do that.
Yeah. But I just feel like, just from a man's point of view, if a female expects a man to pay all the bills and all that stuff, you may very well find a man to do that, but it's a cost for everything. So don't think, oh, I'm going to be sitting pretty because he's going to be doing X, Y, and Z. He's still going to expect something out of you at the end of the day. And it's something tells me you're not going to just be able to easily compromise for whatever. A lot of men in those sort of relationships are actually more so controlling. Like, they're going to limit you so significantly because they're like, I'm paying everything, you're not doing anything, so I can tell you what to do essentially, and you need to be waiting on me for my every beck and call and whatever. And it's like, if that's what you like and don't mind for the sake of knowing he's providing for you, again, that's your business. Right. I can't tell you what to do in your relationship. Am I going to do that for my significant other? No. But I mean, again, different strokes for different folks. If you like it, I love it.
Y'all know what that really means.
And if you don't, you can find out.
Right.
Do somebody else.
Pretty much.
But is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? Because you really did have some notes.
I did.
Some mental
because
notes.
people always argue on the internet.
Always.
So I just pick up what they was talking about. Like, okay, we can talk about this.
And you know what? That's another red flag while we sitting here, because why are you arguing with these complete strangers on the internet? Now, I'm not going to lie. I posted a TikTok about my dog like a month or so ago, but they was talking crazy, but I just did a video response like, why are y'all? I was like, y'all it's the false scenarios y'all are making up for me. I was like, nothing I just posted should have equated to all the assumptions y'all are jumping to. Like, this is out of control. I was like, and then I showed them, I was like, y'all said it was this. Look, does that make you feel better? Calm down. Mm-hmm. Then it was people that was even in those comments like, you don't owe these people nothing. Da-da-da-da-da. Stuff like that was funny to me or whatever. Like the support from people you don't know like that. But yeah, it's the people that literally would sit up there and argue with an avatar at the end of the day. Because it be the main people arguing that be just trolls.
Right.
Whatever. Troll your damn self. I'm not gonna do this with you.
Right.
But anyway, I think that does it for our time. Again, I apologize if you heard my dog throughout the episode. He's been a crackhead. He got fixed the other day. I took his cone off. His head, his protective barrier. So he's just been wilding, to say the least. But is there anything else that you want to say before we close out, sis?
No, I'm good.
Actually, there's something I want to say other than like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know it by now. Share your red flags in the comments below because I'm curious now.
Right.
Because I feel like I really wish I really should have did what you did and like screenshot some of those that really like struck here. And now I'm curious and low key want to go back.
Right. Okay. So like you said, comment your red flags or your take on our red flags. You think we're petty or
yeah.
You think our red flags are legit?
Yeah, that part. But all that being said, you guys, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I'm still going to reiterate, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow your favorite Esquire here. And until next time, deuces.
Thank you for tuning in to Sip on This with A Paris. About to get lit with these topics. Drop your thoughts in the comments.